idadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kuru swamadarpanam. The Lord advises Arjuna to give up everything to me. Don't have the I and my. Give me everything. Whatever thou doest, whatever thou eatest, whatever thou offerest in sacrifice, whatever thou givest, whatever thou practicest as austerity, O Arjuna, do it as an offering unto me. So, when you have given up everything, we have seen yesterday so elaborately how to give up everything, and whatever happens, how to give up everything, what is the method to adopt it, and what happens, what are the difficulties, and what feeling one should have when he offers everything to the Lord. So the process is surrender, surrendering everything. And that also we saw yesterday. This surrender is the last step to achieve success. Here the Lord gives the essence of all the Shastras, all the paths. Jnana Yoga also says the same thing. Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, also says the same thing. And Karma Yoga also says the same thing. And of course, Raja Yoga says the same thing. In the end, all these paths, they teach us how to reach the goal of life, which is one only for everyone. And different paths are there, different process one can practice according to his own choice. But in the end, we have to reach the one goal only. So, just as from the when we consider a circle, from the outer periphery, when some dots try to come to the center. Center is the peak. Kutastha we say. Kutastha means the highest. And beyond that there is nothing. So the center is the highest, though it is the deepest, subtlemost, and also it is the highest. One can go no more than the center. So center is known as the Kutastha. Now, if some dots from the periphery start going towards the center, what will happen in their paths? Just imagine. They will come nearer to each other while reaching the center, isn't it? And in the end, they lose all the differences. There is no difference. Everything has become one, isn't it? In this way, all the paths which lead to the absolute one, that they lose their differences and they come and lose everything in the end. By slowly losing the differences, they come towards the center. So in the end, when they reach the center, they lose everything. That is called surrender. The words only are different, but meaning is the same. Losing the difference between people, among ourselves, is losing everything in the end, and that is also in other terms called renunciation. And that can only happen when you reject other things. Other things means slowly when you reject your minus. Minus only makes the difference. This is mine, that is yours. There is the difference. So when you lose the difference, you lose minus. That is also called dispassion. Indirectly it is dispassion only, vairagya. Further he will say us, abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. Go on keeping walking ahead. March on, march on, march on, hero. Stop not till you reach the end. पथि करे अभी कहाँ विश्राम, रुकना तेरा काम नहीं है, चलना तेरा काम. Stoppage is not your aim. Walking, going ahead is your practice. Don't stop till you reach the end. When you go ahead, say in a road, when you are going to reach your target somewhere, walking in the road, you will come across every 1 kilometer some milestones. Will you take all those milestones with you for your proof that I have covered so much, or you reject them there only? Just see and reject it, renounce it, or have dispassion towards that milestone. Then only you can go ahead. Don't collect all those milestones. Of course, that is your achievement. Achievement means you have lost it. You have overcome it. You have renounced it. From every angle we have to see it. What is the meaning? When we go ahead, what happens? Analytically. At the same time you practice dispassion and your abhyas practice, go on, don't stop, and thereby you are renouncing also slowly by and by, and you are going ahead also, and you are losing also. And you are losing your differences also. coming nearer to each other. In this way, if we see this path, when you offer everything to the Lord, you have nothing to be called as a mine. And in the end, the renunciate has to renounce the renunciate itself. This is the path of negative doctrine also. Neti neti. When you go on rejecting, rejection means having dispassion towards these objects. And that is renunciation also. Vairagya means tyag also. When you find fault with the sense objects or mundane enjoyments, whether it is good or bad, whether it is pain or pleasure, then what happens? What happens? At the same time, you are practicing, you are losing, you are renouncing, and you are intensifying your dispassion, you are finding fault with the objects. Everything is going on simultaneously. Then only you can go ahead. In this way, the path, of course, is the same, but grossly when we see, no, this is, I am a student of Raja Yoga, I have to withdraw the mind. When withdraw the mind, you are withdrawing the mind from the sense objects, are you not rejecting it? Are you not having dispassion towards it? Are you not finding fault with it? Are you not renouncing it? Withdrawal, what does it mean? Then only you can withdraw the mind from the objects. All these mean same thing, but terms are different. That's how the yoga Vedas say, Ekah sat vipra bahudha vadanti. The same center is known as the ultimate peak, the depth, the height, everything is same. जब यत लब्ध्वान चापरम लाभ्यम मन्यते तत्परः. Having achieved which you have nothing to achieve anymore. That is the center, that is the height, that is the depth, that is the subtlemost, that is the grossmost, everything. Only the wordings or terms are different, but meaning is the same. So in this way, this surrender is the last step of your practice. Whichever path you have selected, that doesn't matter. In path of devotion also, the devotee forgets himself. I was telling the story of Ramakrishna Paramahansa Deva. So everywhere, when you see the Lord, you forget yourself. That is what happened with the great devotee Dhruva also. He forget what for he was doing all those austerities. What was his desire to be fulfilled? He forgot everything. That is what happens. In this way, surrender is the only path, and Lord Krishna is giving it to Arjuna directly, having no crookedness, no indirect ways, just direct. It will serve all the purpose, all the purpose. This also means the discrimination power. When you consider what is to accept and what is to reject, what is good for you, what is bad for you, what is permanent, what is temporary, then only that decision is called discrimination. Then only you can go ahead. Every moment while walking, we are using our discriminative power, but indirectly, unknowingly. Then only we are able to go ahead. All these are unavoidable in the path of journey of life. Knowingly, unknowingly, directly, indirectly, everybody has to be forced to practice all these, or else your progress is stopped. You cannot go ahead. People say you have to close your nostrils and practice pranayama. Without doing all these, while working in our day-to-day life, we practice kumbhak, rechak, purak unknowingly. While eating and swallowing the food, do you breathe? Automatically you have to stop the breathing for a fraction of a second. While lifting something, you have to stop your breath. Unknowingly, you practice kumbhak. But when you practice it knowingly and increasing the period of stoppage, then you will get something more than ordinary life. So here he explained everything in nutshell. Yes.
So from a relative point of view, what we call as a Kevala Kumbhak.
Keval kumbhak,
So they say
continuous.
it automatically, so should we understand it is the same?
It is an elaborate process to explain it. In Yoga Vasishtha we were discussing about pranayam narrated by our immortal being Kakabhusandi to Vasishtha, and in Chudala Sikhidhwa's story, she was Kumbha Muni. She was also narrating what is Kumbhak and how to practice pranayam. The process is we have to see it analytically, bit by bit, have Keval Kumbhak all the time. All the time. If the mind is one-pointed, Keval Kumbhak is practiced. When mind is one-pointed, prana also gets one-pointed. And while being one-pointed, without movement, it moves also. How these two occurs at the same time, this is to analyze and understand. You see, when we practice Rechak, there is also Kumbhak. And when practicing Purak, there is also Kumbhak. See, Kumbhak is nothing but the inner gap between two Sandhya. So, when there is motion, there is automatically there is stoppage and advancement. So, if you are aware of that, then the work will be going on and the steadiness will be maintained. That awareness should be there. We do it. That is the presence of the Absolute in all beings. That is continuous. It is not interrupted. Continuation is called Keval Kumbhak. It is very subtle, crucial point to understand how both together go on. Both go on together. While doing Rechak and Kumbhak, Rechak and Purak, you are practicing also Kumbhak. Without stoppage, can you go ahead? While walking, see, there is a stoppage. This is how the creation is working. The whole law of changing process is based upon this only. Stop and go. Hop, step and jump. Hop, step and jump. This is very minute point. We shall discuss it. If we enter into it, it becomes lengthy. Now by giving this method, surrendering, offering everything to the Lord, then in the end not only eating, drinking or austerities or yajnas, etc., you have to surrender I-ness also, your ego, everything has to be surrendered. That is what we saw in the story of Chudala and Sikhidwas. In the end, you have to surrender I. My, of course, is gone now. And that is how it is said, two lions cannot live together in a cave, either one or the other. This is what is said in a Hindi proverb. जहाँ राम है वहाँ काम नहीं, जहाँ काम है वहाँ राम नहीं, जहाँ तू है वहाँ मैं नहीं, जहाँ मैं हूँ वहाँ तू नहीं. Where I is, you are not, O Lord. When you are there, I is not to be found. That is what some Sufi saint also said. I was searching for God, I found myself, and I was looking at myself, it was God only. One of the two, either or, two cannot be together. Either or, either you, my Lord, or I. When the I is completely deleted, then only you. That is what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gives the beautiful example of a goat. How does goat shouts? Meh, 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 meh. Meh means I. I. Whole life it utters I. And as a result, it is slaughtered in the front of the deity. Balidan dete hai. And after that, the skin is taken by some cobbler or somebody. Yes, and it was tanned nicely, and it is applied to the tabla or dholki, and then only it says tum tum tum. After so much. So where there is I, you have to delete this by all these methods. All these methods are one and the same, and literally means by its real meaning. Everything is same. Do whatever you like. You are practicing yoga. And that is what Lord Krishna also explained previously. One-pointedness. So now, when Lord gives this method to Arjuna, what will he gain? Of course, indirectly we have discussed what is the gain, what is the achievement. Indirectly we have discussed it. You will achieve everything. The Lord, which is all-pervading, omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. What else you know, you want? You are one with the Absolute. Only the earthen pot is to be broken, and then nothing happens to the inside sky. It becomes one with the absolute sky. Only to break this I, all these methods are adopted. Now what will be the gain? Now in the next sloka, Lord gives the result. By that, Subha Subha Phalayerevam Mokshase Karma Bandhanehi Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupeshyasi. By this, whatever we discussed now, the method, this method includes all the methods. So this is how you will be, thus thou shalt be freed from the bondage of action and yielding good and evil fruits of it. with a mind steadfast in the yoga of renunciation. Renunciation automatically happens when you offer everything. Same thing. Renunciation means offering everything. Then you may say, after offering to Lord, we enjoy it as prasad, reminiscence. So how everything is not offered in the temples? Have you seen? When you take something for offering to the Lord, the priest will offer it to God. Of course, he will take half, and half will be given to you as prasad, and then you enjoy it. So, for that, it is said, whatever you like most, offer it to God. Isn't it? Your choicest things should be offered to the Lord. So, is there no desire hidden within to enjoy whatever we offer? It is not so. This is in the beginning. When you go on offering, you see neophytes have to do something, and the advanced students, they do something else. Everybody is student. You see, offering without expectation, then only that is the highest offering. If you expect something, that is not real offering. That is business. We go to the temple to fulfill our desires. That is how Lord explained also 4 kinds of devotees. Think of me. Artharthi, Artha, Jigyansu, and in the end, Jnani. Jnani never expects anything. It is क्या वो आरती में बोलते तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा. It is yours and I am offering to you. With this attitude, when you offer everything, so there is no expectation. And that also indirectly said by Lord Krishna, karmanyevadhikarase ma phaleshu kadachana. You have only right to offer. What will you get, that is not your lookout. It is not even in your hand. How much the priest will return, that is not in your hand. You cannot fight with the priest. Give me half, more than half, because I have to distribute to so many people. You cannot say so. So it is, there is no right on the result of your offering. You have no right.
Maharaj, from a logical point of view, is half of even also the breath we take, it is half only, outside it is coming.
Yes, it is His. It is His kripa. If this is realized, then He is everything and there is no I at all. There is no certainty of your breathing system. Whatever you have breathed out, there is no guarantee it will come in. So where is guarantee? How can you have right over anything? And this is also supported by the law of nature. Everything changes. Changing phenomena is the law of nature, and that serves all the purpose. Progress is there, multiplication is there, one becomes many by the same method, And the whole nature is based upon one theory, change. And that is called nature. Non-changing is the absolute. Both go together. Both go together. That is the crucial point. We have to be aware of it. Everywhere we have to take both together. If you see the tail without seeing the head of the coin, don't you think it is a coin? You accept without seeing the head. You have just seen the tail. When you count the notes, do you see both the sides and all the marks given in it? Never. We accept it. So in this way we accept everything. Acceptance is our nature, but when we come to the spiritual path, we argue. We accept everything. Since our birth, we have accepted everything. What not we have accepted? I had no knowledge of anything. Whatever is told to me, I have accepted it. This is your name. Yes, sir. This is your father's name. Yes, sir. This is your village name. Yes, sir. Everything is yes. And now when you come to say, God is all-pervading, no, sir. No, sir. How can I accept it? This is the whole trouble. And a beautiful example, you can understand it. Once somebody, of course I give this example very often, once some devotee, some disciple comes and complains before Swami Sivanand Maharaj, Swamiji, that fellow is a rogue. He abused me. He should be punished without any mistake. He started abusing me. He hates me. He abuses me. He is a rogue. He should be thrown out from this ashram. Yes, Siddhanta Swamiji has so much patience to hear everything. Yes, what did he say? He said, Gaddha ka bachcha, son of a donkey. Swamiji, by telling this, he has abused my father also, me also, my mother also, whole dynasty also. I cannot bear it. It pricks my heart. So calmly Siddhanta says, my dear, every day I am telling you, you are the self-effulgent light, or the children of light. That doesn't enter into your ears. It passes over the head, and every day I am uttering it to you. But today he said, Gaddha ka bachcha, this simple words, they pricked so much. Just think over a little. This is how we don't accept God's presence. We accept everything else. That is our habit, that is our nature. That's why we are fools. That's why we suffer. Now he says, this is called renunciation, and he gets liberated. Thou shalt come unto me only. When you have renounced everything, what is that everything? That is created by the nature. So when there is no Prakriti, then what else remains? I am the substratum. I remain. When the car is stopped, what remains? You were going in a very high speed somewhere. All of a sudden, you have put the brake and car is stopped. Then what remains? The ever steady road remains, the substratum, over which your speed was seen. The equilibrium remains. So in this way, he says this is called the highest renunciation of yoga. When the mind is steadfast, never moving, ever stand still, that is called renunciation, that is called yoga also. And that is called liberation also. You are liberated. Thou shalt come unto me only. So simple, so simple. You have to struggle for nothing. For practicing yoga, Raja Yoga, you have to keep your head down and legs up. But here nothing is to be done. Just think of the Lord. Lord is here. If you think of the devil, devil is here. Whatever you choose, it is your choice. So, Lord explains, Ebam, thus offering everything to me, offering all the goods and evils of your results, and when everything is gone, then remains the standstill position. That is steadfastness in yoga, and that is called renunciation also. Thus, when you thus offer everything to me, renunciation of the fruits of all works is called sannyas. Sannyas literally means samyak rupena nyasa means renunciation. The total renunciation is called sannyas. He who is equipped with the mind steadfast in the yoga of renunciation is sannyasa yoga yuktatma. Previously we have seen it, explained it. Sannyasa yoga yuktatma. Sannyasa is called yoga, and you are ever in it. Sannyasa yoga yuktatma. Such a person is dear to me. The act of offering everything unto the Lord constitutes the yoga of renunciation. Act of offering, this is what we have discussed now. This offering to the Lord everything, it means everything, everything. your dispassion, your renunciation, your practice also, your discrimination, everything is within it. Withdrawal of mind, everything. So it is also yoga as it is an action. Action, what is yoga? The definition of yoga, yoga karmasu kausalam. There should be some action and it is skillful. It is perfect action. Perfect action means inaction. That is the true meaning. With the mind endowed with renunciation of yoga, thou shalt be freed from good and evil results, because action will be there but no result. You have the right to do action. You are a servant, slave. You have to toil hard in the field, but the yield belongs to the harvest, belongs to the landlord. You have nothing to worry, nothing belongs to you. You have to just work. With the mind endowed with renunciation and yoga, thou shalt be freed from good and evil results while yet living, and thou shalt come unto me. Yet living means your identity is there, and when you come to me, then you are one with me, then only your identity vanishes. You shall come to me when this body falls. The sky within the pot is nothing other than the outer sky. But only this barrier is the demarcating lines of the pot, which gives you the idea there is some inner sky and something as outer sky. When that demarcation line is deleted, then there is no inner or outer. If this wall is removed, then how can you say what is veranda and what is garden? The wall is only dividing it. The demarcating line is the wall, and then you say it is in and something is out. This is how this body is the root cause of all these differences, in and out, I and yours, my and yours, I and you. If there is no body, where is the difference between you and I? This is what we were discussing when we are in the village. We have fight among ourselves. This is my house, it is your house. And when you go to the city, then there is no such difference. We go beyond this little difference. We say, you are from that village, I am from this village. And when we go to some central city, then you have come from that state and I have come from this state. And when you go to some central city of the whole world, whole earth, then you say you have come from India, I have come from Australia. How the idea changes, and when you go to some other galaxy, then you say, I have come from that galaxy. Your solar system also, your earth feeling, and I am different from Jupiter, that feeling also is deleted now. And when all the differences are gone, then one remains. There is no dividing lines. This is how, when you come to me, you become one with me. There is no difference between you and myself. And that will happen only the demarcating lines when disappears. Demarcating lines when your body falls. Yes?
So in day before yesterday when you were talking about the doshas, Vata, Pitta, Vata, Kapha and Pitta.
This is in relative term only.
So should we understand logically this body is only this?
Yes, body is subject to all these differences. Why Vata, Pitta, Kapha? Why not 5 seeds also? Annamaya kosh, Manomaya kosh, Pranamaya kosh, Vijnanamaya kosh, Anandamaya kosh, so many differences. The gross body, subtle body, the causal body, so many differences we see in the body also. In the body, this is called nose, not eye. This is called eyes, this is called ears. So many differences in the outer skin also. Differences are everywhere in this relative world. So why only cough, bath, pitta? Everywhere there is differences. All these differences should be deleted altogether. Rub out all the lines from the white paper. Then the white paper remains in the end without any impressions. That should be also cleanly suppressed, so that only paper remains, no impressions. That is called oneness with the Absolute. That is called liberation from demarcations. This thine and mine. That is called bondage. Bondage means that is yours, it is mine. I cannot deal with your belongings. You are responsible for your belongings. This is how everywhere we see the differences only. These differences ultimately vanish when you reach the Absolute One, the center, the substratum, the causeless cause, the self-effulgent, knowledge absolute. Now, there is some objection over this. Have you got any objection? Have you got any question? Somebody says, then the Lord has love and hatred as He confers His grace on His devotees only and not on others. Only when you renounce everything, you will come to me, but not others. He is so partial. Why don't you shoot a case against him? I have so many cases against this Kalu. So many objections I have. Always I have got fight with him. Sometimes, somehow or other he escapes because his Kalu is Chalu. This objection is raised by some devotees. Lord, if you are advising this to Arjuna, that means you are showing your partiality to Arjuna. Others are not allowed to come to you. Only when they offer everything to you, then you accept him. Lord has to reply for it. Yes, this is how once it happened with Gurudev also. The story is very, very interesting. Some big person means very great devotee, so much love for Gurudev, and he was a rich man also, and very well-to-do in worldly sense. He had so many servants and vehicles, everything. He was a very rich man. When he came to ashram, in the evening satsang, everybody used to sit down on the carpet, but some special chair was arranged for him. And of course the satsang was ended. When the rich man went, then some of our Guru Bhais only, he came to Gurudev and he complained, Gurudev, you are great of course, but you have so much partiality. We are never allowed to sit on chairs. We have to sit down. And this fellow, because he has donated so much to the ashram, he has offered so much. This offering, he has offered so much to the ashram. That's how you arranged a beautiful chair for him, and with cushions also, not only bare chair. So Gurudev explained, my dear, you see my partiality, but I don't have partiality. Simply, he explained, it is not I who give this chair to him. It is his own karma. Go and see behind him. Wherever he goes, he gets all sorts of merits, means all sorts of these prestige everywhere. It is not only I who give him this chair. It is his karma. I am not partial to him, not to you. He has earned it himself. You have not earned it. It is not question of how much he offered, but it is his karma that you don't see. Karma pradhana vishwakari rakha. The whole world is tied up, as it were, sutre maniganaiva. Just as the garland is tied up with the thread inside, so also the whole world is tied up by the chain of karma, action and reaction. Nobody is responsible for your enjoyments or sufferings. You are responsible. Nobody is responsible for your problems or your solutions. You have created your problem and you have to solve your problems. Nobody can come to your risk. By karmas, you enjoy good and bad both. So, there is no partiality. So, Lord also gives the same argument. Further he says, the answer is not so, my dear. I am not partial to my devotees. Everybody is welcome to become my devotee. I have never said no. The Lord is impartial and is beyond love and hatred. He has no love for his dear ones who has offered everything. He has donated 10 lakhs and you have just offered 10 rupees. It is not rupees, it is heart, it is karma, it is feeling. That is what he said also before. Patram puspam phalam toyam jo me bhaktya prayachati. Whatever one offers to me, it is not seen by its value but by its feeling. Bhaktya, jo me bhaktya prayachati. And he assures, tadaham bhava, tadaham bhakti upahritam asnami prayatatvanah. He has offered it with so much love and affection. I accept it. I never reject even a drop of water. What is the nature of Lord Shiva? Does he demand any gold and ornaments? He is quite satisfied with little water, little leaves, billow leaves. Lord Vishnu is quite satisfied with one leaf of tulsi. What more he wants from you? It must be offered with love and heart. So the Lord says, no, I am not partial. My gate is open to one and all. The Lord says, the mad people are welcome here. What happened last night? Hari Om. The drunkards, the smokers, they were welcomed in Sivanand Ashram when Gurudev was there, not now. When Gurudev was there, I have seen it. When I was there, I have seen it. Murderers, drunkards, smokers, everybody is allowed here. When the secretary comes and complains, Swamiji, they are ruining the ashram atmosphere, Gurudev said, okay, what to do then? Let them be driven away from the ashram. Where do they go? They will go to the society, let them live anywhere and everywhere. If you cannot tolerate them, how can the society, ordinary people, they can tolerate them? You are sadhaks. It is an ashram. If we cannot tolerate them, how can the society tolerate them? So they are welcome. They are welcome. I am the disciple of Swami Sivananda. I have to practice it at least 1%. I have to practice it. Though it is not my nature, yet I try to practice it. Let me see. So in this way the Lord says, no. This is explained in the next verse also. To whom I am available and whom do I like and whom not. This will be discussed tomorrow. And in the end, he gives assurance, api ched sudracharaha. Even the greatest sinner is welcome. This is the greatness of the great people. This is called greatness, to bear, to tolerate everything. We cannot do it, but we should try to practice it. Thereby we enhance our tolerance, our patience. That is what our Sai Baba says. Saburi, patience. Patience. 100% patient you should have. Patience. Let come whatever it is. Have no objection. No complaint. If you remember tomorrow, I shall give you an example of Swami Sivanand Seva, how he never complained against anything and any circumstances. And on this basis, Gurudev used to say, adjust and accommodate, this is called highest sadhana. This is highest sadhana. Adjust and accommodate. Bear everything, tolerate everything. So Lord gives all these instructions to Arjuna by the way of telling all these in Gita. These are the essence of all the scripture. Gita is the essence of all the Upanishads, all the Vedas, and not only our scriptures. It is the essence of all the religious scriptures. It can fit to anything and everything. So tomorrow we shall see further. Samoham sarvabhutesu name dvesvosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite tesu chapyaham. I am equal to everyone. Samoham. I taught you samatvam yoga uchyate. Now I do it practically. My nature is samatvam. Samoham sarvabhutesu name dvesaha na priyaha. I have no hatred nor love for anyone. I am equal to everyone. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. But who offer his heart to me with devotion, steadfast mind, one who thinks of me, of course, I am in him, he is in me. There is no difference between them and myself. We are one and the same. That is also samatvam. There is no partiality. Everyone is welcome here. Apiched, then he says, apiched sudracharo vajate mamana navak sadhurev sasa mantabhya samyak vyavasito hi saha. Then he says, even the greatest sinner, what was the qualification of that Ratnakar murderer? The greatest sinner. What was the quality of Angulimal? What was the quality of all these demons who merged in Lord? So everybody is welcome. Think of me even with hatred, but think of me from your heart of hearts. Abuse me, never mind, but think of me. So, somehow or other, you have to renounce directly or indirectly everything and think of me. Then you come to me. We shall see further. Most interesting. These are the essence of all the paths of yoga. Most important. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevamasisyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Gita Mata ki jai. Gadapati Vatpa ki